Welcome, one and all, to the weekly armchair kickoff. I am your host, Darragh Cashman, residently known as the Ryanair Red. Julio, thank you very much for that one. It is time for Chelsea versus Manchester United, or as I like to call it, the Battle of the Billionaires.
Mm.
We all know which better. We all know who's the better billionaire team, though. Let's be honest. So yeah,
Hold on now.
he's starting already. I
There's
don't
going
want
to be
this.
arguments here.
I don't want this already.
No, hold on now. You started this already. You fucking started this already. You started it off now. You started it off. I'm already wired up. I'm fired. I'm ready to kill someone now. That's it.
Oh,
I'm raging now. I'm raging already.
oh, gee, I'm only 1 minute in. This is gonna be great. So look, this is the Man United and Chelsea preview. I am joined by the main man himself, Keane, and Stu, defending United's honour. Guys, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well. Yeah, very well.
Bit
Busy day, not long end, so but yeah, pretty good.
Oh, that makes two of us. And of course, he's already made his voices heard, battling to defend Chelsea's honour, if there is any. Jersey man, Evan Fahey. How are things, man?
Come on, the boys. That's the story.
And he's off already.
I'm ready to take on you scumbags. Lot of you fucking scumbags, a lot of you.
He's been giving a large in Pro Club, so we can only imagine how this is really going to go. So it's the resident red versus blue. It's always better to talk about Chelsea rather than talking against Man City. Let's be honest. Even though neither club have history, but we'll scratch over that. So look, we'll kick things off, and we ended this with this at the Liverpool preview, but we'll start with it this time. A combined 11. Only this time of Chelsea and Manchester United players. Keane and Stu have had the honour of trying to come together to agree of making their own Chelsea and Man United 11. Evan is going to be biased as ever and give us a full Chelsea team, but we'll see what he says. So
no, I think I'll be fair. I think I'm very fair in this one, right? I've been very lenient with a lot, and like there's arguments for both sides.
Lenient. You're 11th place in the league. How the fuck can you be lenient?
No, hold on now. You will be shocked and you will be stunned. But
Evan, if the same starting 11 that Keane showed me earlier on my lunch break is what he's after finalising with, you're going to absolutely despise him.
But look,
I've already got hints. He's been saying to me all day, like, you're gonna hate me. I was like, if you fucking do a madness, I'll go nuts.
Oh, but I even said to Keane, I goes, one or two choices I would actually argue with myself, but even then I was kind of there like, you devilish fucker, I like it.
I was too busy in meetings, and King was texting me, and I was like, "Yep,
just go with it."
Yep. Put Maguire in. Do this, do that. That was it. I was on a couple of Zoom calls, and I'm like,
I was just hopping off him. I'm sorry about that, Stu. If I knew you were in Zoom call, I wouldn't have texted you. But like, sorry.
Nah, it's all right. It's all right. No worries. Oh, talking of which, by the way, just for record, I will be in Dublin on the 12th, I think, of October.
She was making an Ireland appearance.
Yeah, I'm flying in for the day and fucking off straight after. I've got to do a bit of business at something called Simmons Court, or I don't know.
I have the notion about Dublin.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to do some business there for about an hour. So I get into Dublin Airport at 9:30. I think I'll taxi it over to Simmons, whatever it is. And if any of you guys are free, then I'll meet you for a beer at lunchtime, and then I fly back. I think it's about 4:30, something along those lines.
We'll do a weekly armchair special that day.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
From Dublin, yeah.
From Temple Bar, it costs about 50 quid for a pint.
Oh,
yeah, I know it's about.
Bring your wallet.
Well, I've got my expense account, so
It'll be on the company.
Yeah, it'll be on the company card there, yeah.
Stick it on the old expense, yeah.
All right, so lads, enough about talking about beers and coffees and whatever. We'll get straight into it. Which one of you devilish fuckers want to take on this one first?
I'll go first because I want to piss everyone off before.
I think United. Yeah, United should go first anyway.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So myself and Stu, well, I was annoying him while he was in the Zoom meeting, but I bounced a couple of teams off him for the combined 11. So I'm going to give our finalised combined 11. I think this 11 what I've done with this is I've picked it off merit of this season. I haven't necessarily picked it on talent, raw talent, because if I did, there a lot of other players would be in here. So I've done it on merit, availability, and obviously injuries as well, and form. Obviously, form has to be the key one here. So if the goalkeeper, look, I think Petrovic has done okay since he's come in after Sanchez. But Andre Onana is number one for shots prevented in the Premier League this season. And when you consider the start he had compared to what he's doing now, United would probably be in the bottom half of the league if it actually wasn't for him with the amount of shots we're facing per game. And the fact that he's highest shots prevented, that does show his improvement. And look, it's hard to follow David De Gea. So I give the goalkeeper Andre Onana, but that's not to say next year Petrovic could get it. But I think Onana, since the turn of the year, has been brilliant.
Yeah.
Massively.
Back four, I've gone right back, Chelsea right back, Malo Gusto. I've been talking to Sean about this lad.
It was obvious it was coming.
Yeah, you knew this was coming anyway.
Yeah.
I was talking to Sean about Malo Gusto the last couple of weeks, and I think he's a top player. I think he's brilliant. He's been very, very consistent.
Yeah.
And with Reece James's injuries, I think Chelsea have kind of hit the jackpot that they could probably cash in the summer, depending if his surgery goes well or not. And they've a good young right back there they could probably have for the next decade in Gusto. I think he's very good going forward, can defend. And yeah, he's very aggressive. I do like him. But I've gone him right back. I'm going to go to left back first before I go to centre halves. I'm going to go Diogo Dalot left back. Again, you could have put Gusto or Dalot on either side. But I feel Dalot was a bit more experienced playing on the left than Gusto has. So I've gone Diogo Dalot. Again, he's been mega consistent this season, probably his best season in a Man United shirt. Considering he was actually decent last year, he's really come on leaps and bounds. Anyone who watches the channel will know that I'm not his biggest fan, or wasn't his biggest fan, but he's quietly turning me into a believer in the last kind of couple of months. So hopefully he can keep that going. Centre half partnership. Here's the thing with the centre half partnership. I was tempted to put Levi Colwill in because he's a good player, but predominantly this season he's actually played left back rather than centre half. So when you talk about form and merit, I could not put him in at centre half because, and I've discussed this with another Chelsea fan, that he's played the majority of the season left back. So on that merit, I've gone Raphael Varane, who's been actually, when you consider the stories about injuries, he's actually been quite available this season, and he's been one of United's best players.
Evans' reaction there just says, "Here we go."
He's going to go after the next
one.
I've gone Raphael Varane
because that is septic already.
Not septic.
Wait till you hear the next one.
He's gone. I'll be honest here. There's no way with Chelsea being 11th or 12th in the table or 10th, wherever the fuck you are, that you can throw two Chelsea centre halves in here when your defence is leaking more goals than Manchester United. I'm sorry, that just can't happen.
Man.
That just can't happen considering we're shit, but you're even worse. So on that merit, I've gone Raphael Varane and I've gone Harry Maguire beside him. I was going to put Johnny Evans in there. Yeah. Evan, I'll ask you a question, right? Have any Chelsea players Hold on. I'll ask you a simple question. I'll dumb it down for you, right? Have any Chelsea players got player of the month this season?
No.
Any Chelsea defenders?
What's that? I didn't hear that now.
Have any Chelsea defenders got player of the month this season? Premier League player of the month? Any Chelsea defenders?
No. Has any Chelsea manager got manager of the month?
No.
Exactly.
Harry Maguire has been probably outside Diogo Dalot, been one of United's most improved players this season.
Massively.
And when you consider when United went through their best
going from seriously shit to okay or just above shit is like it's going to be an improvement. Like,
well, here's a question then: sorry to butt in on this one, Keane, but who is your choice then to take Maguire out? Who do you put in its place?
You'll have to wait for my 11. You'll have to wait. I'm trying to hold back here.
He's just going to wait. No.
Well, I better not see Thiago Silva in there.
He's been dark, by the way, but we won't go there. He's 40 years of age.
To try and be favoritism here, I will say this much. Disasi, was that how you pronounce him? He's been okay.
Disasi, yeah.
Like this is the thing. Chelsea haven't been at that level where they want to be to consider two United or at least one of their centre backs to be there. Like this actually started poorly. Let's be honest. Slight improvement. Badishile, can't really comment on him.
Injuries, injured. Thiago. Look, this is the way I break it down with Chelsea centre halves this season, right? If you really want to break it down, Thiago Silva out of form, injuries. Levi Colwill out, but he's been in form, but he's been playing predominantly left back. Disasi has made a few errors leading to goals. Like, if you really want to break this down and want to be analytical about this, you have to say that you have to be diplomatic and say who's been in form this season. Maguire hasn't made any errors leading to goals this season, whereas Chelsea's defenders have. That you have to, if you want to boil it down by numbers and stats, and also by individual awards. Harry Maguire has won Player of the Month, and no Chelsea player has. So at that rate, I just have to simply say Harry Maguire gets in. And by the way, Evan, Sean Maroney put Harry Maguire in his team. So I'm just going to leave that with you there, because he's a Chelsea fan as well. Right, on to my midfield. Our midfield. So I did go 4-3-3 originally with my team. But to get players in certain positions, I'll be honest, when it comes to the attack, United and Chelsea's attackers this season have been shit, barred a couple of them. So I marginalised out the attack to fill up the midfield, because I feel like there's midfielders in here who need to get in on merit. So first of all, my first midfielder is Kobbie Mainoo. I think that just goes without saying. He's been unbelievable this season. And look, I think if you look at young players at both clubs, there's two standout young players at United and Chelsea. We both know who they are. And they're the obvious picks for this team. I think Kobbie Mainoo gets in there. I have a Chelsea midfielder in here now named Conor Gallagher. I think Conor Gallagher, wrongly, similar to Scott McTominay, gets a lot of heat off Chelsea fans. I do think when you look at like Chelsea's season this season, he's been one of your more consistent performers. He's very honest. He works hard, and he's got match-winning goals for Chelsea this season. You're a top scorer from midfield this year. So I've gone Conor Gallagher there. And beside him, then I've gone Bruno Fernandes. In the number 8. Beside him.
I see where you're going with it. Yeah. Okay, that's.
I've gone Bruno Fernandes in the number 8.
I was trying to think. Yeah.
Evan says he sees where Keane's going with it, but does he really know where he's going with it?
We'll see where I'm going with this now. Let me finish my team. So I've got Bruno on the 8.
Go for it.
When you look at numbers of all of Chelsea and Man United's midfielders, he has like one of the highest goals and assists between all the choices that we do have. It's not Bruno's best season by a long shot. Bruno's had way better seasons for United, but at the same token, he's had a better season than the other midfielders I've left out, including Casemiro as well from Man United. Casemiro doesn't get into the team. In the kind of second striker / kind of the furthest midfielder up the pitch, I've gone with the midfielder who has the most goals this season out of all Manchester United and Chelsea midfielders. And now, again, just to reiterate, my criteria was form, availability, and merit. And if this midfielder doesn't get in based off merit, then people are putting players in over flair. So Scott McTominay is my number 10 in this team. Again, when you look at his goals and assist rate this year, the amount of goals he's won for Man United.
There's the reaction I was looking for.
But Evan, here's the thing. If I was picking this team based off quality, Martinez, Shaw would be in. It'd be a full Man United back 4. It would have been a full Man United nearly front 3. But I've gone with players in form and available. And by the way, Scott McTominay.
I can probably pick your front 3. I was completely wrong. And
it was a front 2, by the way. So I've gone a diamond. In midfield. So I've gone Mainoo, Gallagher, Fernandes, and McTominay in midfield. And then my front 2 is Rasmus Højlund and Cole Palmer.
Let me just have a look. I'm completely different to what you have now. This is going to be interesting.
So with this, right, because I just lay out a kind of couple of thoughts that I had and honourable mentions. So Johnny Evans was very close to getting into this team ahead of Harry Maguire. And my criteria for Johnny Evans was he's 36. He was a free transfer. He was meant to be United's 5th choice centre-back this year. And only for Harry Maguire having one more goal than him this season, Johnny Evans was in. And when I discussed the stats with Steele, we decided that Harry Maguire goes in ahead of him, only just. funny enough, Sean Maroney has Johnny Evans in his team as well. But he said he wouldn't be too hard, he wouldn't be too fussed if Maguire was in ahead of him because on merit this season. Obviously, another honourable mention was Marcus Rashford as well. He's had not a great season, but when you consider we were going to front two, he has played striker before, and I was considering putting him in. Another honourable mention, obviously, is Levi Colwill, like I mentioned as well. Again, just I think the fact he's played most of the season left back, for me, it was just hard for me to put Levi Colwill in there. And then obviously my last honourable mention was Alejandro Garnacho. Very unlucky to miss out. Only the fact I went for a front two. I thought Cole Palmer, the fact he's played false nine for City and he's played through the middle for Chelsea as well. He was a miss. And obviously Nkunku as well, but he's been injured most of the season, so I couldn't put him in. But he's quality, but other than that, that's my
Colwill's the unlucky one, isn't he, Keane? Really?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he's the unlucky
one.
If
he played centre half rather than left back this year,
he would have been straight in.
Yeah.
But even at that,
I'm 100% there with you as well.
No, because to be fair, with Nkunku though, it's just a case of fair enough when he's been available and he's actually come on, he's actually scored goals. Because when you look at the games he's played or the amount of games he's played and the goals he scored, it's actually not bad for someone who's been out for pretty much most of the season, really. So, if you were to just kind of go off of
fuck right off. One second, lads. I'm not saying fuck off to you, Darragh.
Oh, sorry. I was really thanks.
Lisandro Martinez is out for a month again.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And Lindelof's out for a month, so that's all right. But
everything,
Keane,
Darragh, everything is glitching now. I can't hear a stitch.
Darragh, back me up. What did I say a couple of weeks ago? Don't bring Martinez back.
Don't rush him back. I tweeted that as well on Friday. He's not 100% fit. Don't play him, but
here
we go. Anyway, let's get to Evan's team. Let's see how much he can piss us off more now.
I don't think you could do much more than that.
To be fair, Evan, if I was you, I wouldn't bother, mate. I'd just quit while you're ahead.
You're 3 funny men, I tell you. You're gas.
I'm trying to be unbiased here.
Right.
So, I go on. I'll be interested in this one then.
Right, getting into this, right? There, like he said there is a shout for a few honourable mentions. I did go off a lot of individual plays as well. Instead of just team plays, merits, all that kind of crack. Stats did come into a lot as well, as I will mention for the backs, but we'll get into that. So first off, right, in goal I have Petrovic, right? For me, it boiled down to now. Listen, there is leeway on all these now for me. There is, but for me, for when Petrovic stepped in for the few games he's had, he's been good. In fairness, what done it for me was Onana's absolute howlers of mistakes. Now, like I said, he has come a long way. He has helped United massively, and there's no doubt about it. If it wasn't for him, United would be a lot lower. That's fair enough, but I'm going to be biased about this. For Petrovic has been in, we'll say 14 games. Am I right in saying that? 14, 15 games. He's done exceptional now, in fairness to him. Young up and coming keeper, he will be amazing coming in the next few seasons as well. But if
I could make a point there, fair enough, Petrovic has stepped up and I will credit him for that. But the one thing for me that just stuck up on Sanchez, and it's an interesting one for me because I liked him at Brighton. Now, I suppose, like most people, you look at the way Brighton set up and everything, it just seemed like you were after getting a quality keeper for a decent price. But whatever is after happened, was like genuinely, I like Sanchez, and he wouldn't have been my first choice to replace David De Gea by any stretch. But having said that, I'm just there I would have taken him at United as a secondary keeper at the very least. So to see him not, or I won't say fall from grace, because he wasn't on a high pedestal by any stretch of the imagination, but for him to falter, shall we say, at the very least, it's an interesting one for me. I liked him at Brighton. It could have just been the setup in front of him probably suits him better, but who am I to say, really?
Yeah, no, that's a fair point to make. See, Brighton's a rare case. It's an underdog story. Brighton won't stay up season after season after season and be that dominant force, would say, as they are this season. which is understandable that they've had a lucky run. You could even go as far as say a Leicester sensation, like in their terms of things. Obviously not going to win the Premier League or whatever, like, but they've been a force to be reckoned with in this season, like. Me personally, I just think with the games Petrovic has had in comparison to Onana, I think it'd be hard to just say, oh, Onana just gets in and that's it. Like, you'd have to fight his case. But like I said, I'm very lenient on this whole 11, understandably, because we've been so poorly and we're down so far on the table. So moving on, I'm completely in agreement with you. Darragh and Gusto on the wing are on the fullback. I put Gusto right back, and Darragh left back. I think it's fair enough. Like you said, Darragh just has more experience in that position. Getting into the juicy bits, we won't delay it anymore, right?
Let's have
the juicy bits. So my two centre backs. Now, I did, when I first done it, right, when I first done out this team, I did have Maguire in. I won't lie, it was a shout. Evans didn't really cross my mind, being honest with you. Reason, just wasn't feeling them. There was better options, I thought. So going off my first one, I was never going to leave this man out. It was Thiago Silva. I was never going to leave him out. That was obvious from the get-go.
Hold on. I know what's happened here, Keane.
Right?
I know what's happened here, Keane. Old Thiago's missus has been fucking tweeting Evan, hasn't he? You better come on the team. She's had one on you, I tell you. She's had one on you. Darragh, give him the choke. Come on, give him the choke.
Oh, do we have to really embarrass me at the same time? Sorry.
Oh God!
I had to.
There's just no...
even at the expense of me, I had to do it.
The show's over. The show's over.
But like, what caught me by surprise there was the fact that he gave out about the fact that we were including Maguire,
and then he's going to put Maguire in there.
Well, obviously, I was going to have to. Obviously, I was going to have to cause a bit of controversy, keep you on your toes, lads. Obviously, I was going to have to do it. But, like, you have to admit, like he said, player of the month, all that kind of crack. He has stepped up. He has been probably one of United's best players. But the way I saw it was, right, we look at the appearance between Maguire and Silva, right? 23 to what? Maguire's 15 again, 16, 17.
Don't forget though, he's missed quite a few games this season. Maguire, he's been out.
He has, he has. Now he has got 2 goals and an assist, which I think kind of put him over the line for that player of the month.
He won it by a mile.
Yeah, two assists and a goal, right? So far this season. Thiago Silva's got 2 goals, right? Now you want to look at clean sheets. Thiago Silva has 5 clean sheets compared to Harry Maguire's 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't sit there and tell me Harry Maguire is clear, Thiago Silva is nowhere to be, because the defender's job is to defend, to have clean sheets. Thiago Silva has 5 clean sheets. He hasn't underperformed. He's performed to the quality that Chelsea are now, which is fair. But like, if you're going to say 5 or 6 more games, like, it's not that big of a difference.
Can I ask a question? In terms of like Thiago Silva's stats this season, how many of them games did Chelsea win?
Yeah, we might have won them all. Like, we won a few. That's
fair enough.
But that's not. It's not an individual thing. That's a team effort. Then you're relying on your team members around you. Then if you're talking about winning games, you can't win games on one player. Harry Maguire never won you any games.
Well, he actually did.
I would argue that. I would argue that.
Like, you would argue that. So Harry Maguire went down the pitch out on his own and took on the whole team by himself.
Harry Maguire hasn't won us a game. Okay, I'll ask you a question. When Man United played what's her face, Liverpool in the FA Cup a few weeks ago, and Harry Maguire came off the bench, wasn't he not one of the best players on the pitch and actually helped United change their performance?
Yep.
Against the second the second best team in, third best team in England right now, second best, third, whatever way you kind of want to look at it with Liverpool.
Liverpool will always be dog shit.
Whereas Thiago Silva, if you want to put individual performances on the highest barometer,
Who are you putting alongside him then? Just out of interest now, then. Who are you
This is
putting
going to
alongside?
really piss you off. This is going to really piss you off.
Oh, he's put
and I
Body of
can't
Shield
wait
there,
for
hasn't
it.
he?
Just mayhem.
He's probably put better sheet in, though.
Jesus
That's it. Yeah, he has to make it. It's the same argument for me. It's the same argument, right?
Evan, I play with a Zimmer frame and I'm still betting on Body of Shield.
The stats are there. Like, what's that, you?
I said I play with a Zimmer frame on a weekend and I'm still better. No, I literally take my Zimmer frame onto the pitch. Honestly.
I'd be arguing Levi Colwell. I know he's played left back, but
I agree with Colwell.
I'd put him over.
I'd take Colwell over. Yeah.
I'd rather take Colwell.
Me, Colwell is not centre back. He hasn't played much centre back. I've already picked the full backs for that, which is Gusto with Cleary and Darragh has to go in. Like, do you know what I mean? Fucking Colwell is already out of the question. He can't put. That's like putting fucking, I don't know, Chilwell in. Like, he can't in fullback. He can't do it. Like.
He's getting nowhere near this.
Oh, but like, sorry though. If
Chilwell is out of the question.
Chilwell will not get in the head of Shaw.
But Shaw's not in the question either.
That man's been injury there as well. Like,
that man's been collecting certs down the dole office all season, being injured. The cunt. So Shaw's not getting anywhere near this team.
But that's actually an interesting argument there. How would Chilwell fare out fully fit the whole season?
If him and Luke Shaw are fully fit all season, Luke Shaw gets him all day.
He's all right, mate. He's all right. But I just don't.
He's better than all right. He's better than all right. Credit where credit due. He's better than all right. He's better than all right.
I don't know. I watched him for England. Those couple of matches. I watched him recently for Chelsea. I don't know. There's something off with him for me. I'm not just saying it for the sake of it. There's just something not right with him for me.
He was way better when Chelsea when Chelsea won the Champions League. He was very good.
He was very
good.
Oh yeah, he was a force. Yeah,
I think his positional play is not great on occasion. I don't think his ball retention's good either. He plays a lot of one-time passes. If you remember, one-touch passes. Sometimes you got to get your foot on the ball and move it. So I'm not having a pop. He wouldn't get anywhere near my team. What I would say, and I'd be willing to concede, and I'm sure Keane would, the removal of either one of your centre halves and put Colwell in, I would concede and take.
Will we go against our actual criteria and put Colwell in? We'll take what we'll do, right? Because I like balance, right? So the way we want to replicate that Martinez-Varane partnership. Well, let's do it by putting Colwell in. We'll decide this in our
if you're putting anyone, it has to be Silva. Like.
Really?
No, because the fullback position, Colwell played left back. Like,
I'm sorry. If you're after causing this much debate just on your backline, I want to hear your midfield. Like, come on.
Let's go to the midfield.
Right, we'll move on. Right, so there was a fair few shouts, and I was debating this so much. So I was. Let me just go back into
before we begin, are you going 4-3-3, are you?
I picked a 4-3-3, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I said, fuck it, why not? So, first off, I have McTominay.
Good man.
He's been sensational. He's been coming clutch deep massively. If you want to talk about United player coming in clutch. No, I don't. No, it's a flat three. Absolute flat three. I have McTominay, United player coming in clutch. He's the man you call on. Like, he's been the LeBron James. He's the one taking the last shot. Like, he has stepped up big time. Mm-hmm. Secondly, who I have in midfield beside him is Gallagher. Right.
Fair enough. That's fair.
We had him as well.
He like Keane said, like Stuart said, he's been Chelsea's best, if not second best. Player we've had this season, relying on big time, scored crucial goals. Now there is a few fumbles in him, like taking mad wild shots. The ego could have got to him in a couple of games, which is fair enough. Like, do you know what I mean?
He's some man for a yellow card as well.
Oh yeah,
he's fucking. But what really pisses me off on him, what I think really gets him the heat, is these just fucking stupid random shots on goal that don't even get on target. Like that's what really pisses me
I'll
off.
give him credit.
It's the ego getting some.
In the League Cup final, he was a decent player. He was just very unlucky because Queeveen Kelleher was just on fire that game. Like
he was, in fairness.
He was, yeah.
But like,
he was, in all fairness.
You see a lot of the games this season
Ireland
just taking
against
wild
Belgium
random
last week
shots.
as well. He was unbelievable.
So following the two boys, right, this is where it gets sticky for me, right?
okay,
Between the front three and this man here. And so I put Palmer in beside Gallagher
Ooh, number
and
10. Oh, okay.
Scott
fair enough,
McTominay,
that's fair.
right? He has been sensational. As I said, City's boy, Chelsea's man. That was the quote of the year, a quote of the season. He's been absolutely. Now I know that game ended up in a 4-4 draw,
Was that- was that Cole Palmer? Was it?
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Palmer,
so
yeah.
what's going to happen
he's-
Thursday night is Big Harry is going to put Cole Palmer in his pocket, and what he's going to do is he's going to walk him up to Manchester, and we're going to keep him at Old Trafford. He's fucking.
I put it this way, G. Harry
Sensational.
Maguire is better coming off the bench for you. I'm just going to say it. He's better coming off the bench for you. But I can't see him going to United.
No, you're timed down to massive contracts. You'll move out Gallagher, as Keane said. You'll move out James because you need to do that for FFP. It's that simple. You'll do that. We'll do something similar.
I heard links and rumors about Reece James heading off this summer.
Yeah,
potentially Madrid. It could be another hazard situation where he just the injuries are just too much for him. Yeah. It'd be such a shame to see because he's an
I think
absolute
you'll
baller.
cash in on him, Evan. I think you'll cash in on him for financial reasons.
Absolutely. If someone said to me, Evan, would you here's 60 million for Reece James? I'd take the hand off you.
Oh, massively.
So I would. Absolutely take the hand off you. You'd want to be stupid not to.
Yeah, fantastic player, Reece James.
Do you know
if
what
he
I mean?
stayed fit, great player.
If he stayed fit, my God, he'd be sensational.
Yeah.
Here's an absolute carnage coming in there now. Look at the
Sean's going to guzzle 11 now for saying sell Reece James.
The each other's throws, things you love to see.
I think he's frozen.
You have to be realistic about it. Injury is killing them at the moment. He can't stay fit with us. Like you said, you have to cash in on the money.
So have you got top two though?
Well, top three.
He's on 4-3-3.
Top three. I went for a 4-3-3. So right.
Sorry.
This is a tough one, right? So I went back and forth between formations, between players, right? So for me, I think we'll go with the United side first. I think Garnacho gets in all day. I think Garnacho has to get in.
Now, are you playing on the left or right?
I'm playing him on the right. On the right. Yeah, I can't believe he left him out. I thought it was obvious. I couldn't believe he left him out.
I left him out for the respect that I couldn't leave Scott McTominay out and I couldn't leave Cobby and Bruno out when you consider Bruno's chance creation this season. If our forwards weren't so bad this year, Bruno will be breaking assist records like.
Oh, absolutely. And this is the thing with this combined level. It depends on the formation you're picking, right?
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. People are going to have to be left out. And the formation I have gone with, people are going to be left out. So up front, like I said, it was between putting Palmer up front, right? And putting Palmer in, or putting Bruno Fernandes in where I had Palmer and putting Palmer as striker. But I didn't go for that. Obviously, because I put Palmer in midfield. I put Rashford up front, which he might slate me on it.
Jesus.
He might slate me, and I know Rashford he's not a striker for you, but you have to put someone in there. You have to put someone in there.
You don't put
I've already put
Hoyland
Palmer in midfield.
Have you gone
No, God, no.
You haven't put Hoyland in?
What?
No, fuck no, I haven't put
Rashford is
Hoyland.
striker out of Hoyland. You're madman.
Who the fuck is your left wing so?
Listen, if you take out positions and you get the option between Rashford and Hoyland, you're going to pick Rashford.
It's not that
You're going to pick
disturbing.
Rashford. You can't leave out Rashford out of this team.
I'm more disturbed the fact that who are you going to put alongside him then?
I fear I can actually guess who it is.
Well, so I think that's what I can't.
Right. So with that being said, right, with only left wing being left, right?
Guess
Now,
it's-
like I said, I'm open to this. I'm gladly change my mind, change formation. We can switch players around, right? But I put Sterling on the left, right?
I
Now,
fucking
hear
knew it.
me out.
I knew it.
Hear me out. Hear me out here, right? If you want to put Bruno in, which is fair enough, there's arguments there for Bruno. If you want to make it a 4-4-2, or like he done a diamond, right? To put Bruno in, I just happily do it. But you're not going to put Bruno on left wing, like you're not going to put Bruno on
No,
left wing.
Jesus Christ, no.
So you're not exactly. So the only person to fit in left wing is Sterling. Now, like I said, I gladly change formation around if you want that to accommodate for Bruno. You
Well,
know, but
least
as
you-
the
No, I wouldn't.
4-3-3
what.
flat.
I'll tell you what, we'll get Sean's team in a sec there, but I think we're going to have to come to a compromise on a couple of positions. It'll be interesting to see. All I'd say
Like I
straight
said-
out is the couple of certainties I would say are definitely in this team, right? Well, in my opinion, anyway, would be Onana would be that. I think
Yeah.
the two fullbacks are absolutely.
Oh, absolute
Um,
certainty, yeah.
I think two fullbacks. I think Gallagher and McTominay are both nailed on as well.
Oh yeah.
Palmer's nailed on, and then the rest is up for debate.
I'd say Mainu is nailed on.
We made it as well. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Mainu's nailed on. Yeah.
So we
I
get
don't think
Sean's
so.
team anyway.
Watch
But
on.
hold on,
Yeah.
Listen,
Yours.
if you want to, like I said, if you want to accommodate for Bruno, I'm easy going. Like once we pass
You get Sean's team
two
with
players
Sean
past the
and then
midfield.
What we
See
do
what
is we get
Sean's
Sean's
team
team,
Yeah, see what
and then
Sean's-
you see what adjustments we can make on the back of that.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
fair enough. So.
I agree on Anna in goal.
Yep.
I'm presuming it's the two fullbacks are the same. Dallo left back, Gusto right back.
Yep.
Centre halves, I've gone for Johnny Evans and Thiago Silva. Average age of about 90. And
Man speaking sense.
field,
I love
I
it.
think it's going to differ a bit. I have Casido, Mainu, and I couldn't make up my mind on the other one. But I went for Gallagher, but I'm happy enough to have any of the United boys in there. As you know, like I'm not too high on Gallagher, but in fairness to him, he has done well this year. And then forward line, I have Palmer right wing, I have Highland up front, and I've gone for Jackson left wing.
Jackson left wing. Oh man.
Oh, we've a few choices then. We've a few.
He's a winger, sure.
I'll tell you what, Sean, right? Your team was decent, and I could have
Until you
accepted
said
it
Jackson
until
was-
Nicholas Jackson came. I can't quite get my head around that.
I think he walked into it this year. If you're going on
But Jackson,
yeah,
Really? What am I missing? Seriously, tell me, what am I missing? Because I just haven't seen it, pal.
you're one of the ones that are on Twitter every week that just goes with the narrative, is it?
Oh man.
Honest to God, lads,
Shots.
like I've seen him getting slayed every single week, and
No, I don't slate anyone on Twitter. I can't be bothered. But
he's cost
but
third of the price
no
of
one's ever
Highland,
coming on
and
and
he's
going
scored
for madness
more
here.
goals. His all-round game is better, and he's played very well this year. I think he gets in easy. He's a winger. He's not even a striker. He's a winger, and like played a few games there. He's like fantastic as well. He's obviously missed a few chances this year, but like most strikers that like have a lot of big chances missed are like the better ones. Like you just don't want to be having strikers that are not moving and not getting fucking chances. So I think if you're getting chances, even if you're missing a few, I think it's a good thing. I just think he's been very solid this year, and I think he gets a lot more stick than he should on Twitter. I think there's this narrative that goes around about him. Like people made their minds up after like 2 or 3 games when he missed 1 or 2 chances, and I think that just sticks. That's I just don't think the other options are great. Like Rashford hasn't been that good this year. Obviously, Rashford is a better player than Jackson, but
that's why I went by in comparison. Like,
yeah, like obviously Rashford is better, and like if you're going to ask me if I'm building a team who I'd rather have, I'm going to pick Garnacho as well. Like because like I think he will. Like he is a better player and he's a younger than that. But just some form this year, I just think Jackson has been very good. Rashford has been hit and miss. Now, in fairness, Garnacho has been good. So I wouldn't complain if someone has Garnacho out there either. But yeah, I just went to Jackson. I think he's had a very underrated season.
Yeah, and
This
that's
is
the problem because that left wing is up for debate simply because Sterling can play both wings, if I'm correct in saying.
yeah. But the thing is,
across
right?
the front
You're
three.
saying the left wing is up for a shout, but the thing is, we have to agree on formation as well. Like,
Yeah, so I was just about to say. So me and Stu's team was a diamond, so 4-2-2 diamond, and both Evan and Sean have gone 4-3-3. I think maybe for accommodation, do we go 4-3-3 to try get everybody in?
I think that's the fairest option because
I think 4-3-3 is the best option. Like,
Yeah, even though hot take, I think Man United to be more defensively solid through the middle, since we're getting couple like hot knife through butter, we should be going to a diamond. That's another story for another day.
Of course, yeah.
But that's another story for another day. Goalkeeper. So what we thinking?
Look, I'm easy on Anna. Like I said, what done it for me was Petrovic he's so few games and done so well in fairness, but Onana has obviously more games. There's a few fumbles at the start, but like if you want to put Onana in, that's fair enough. Like I understand it. Like,
and I completely see your point of view with the Petrovic debate, because it's just because I think to kind of be balanced there, because like fair enough, United biases come into play here a small bit. Having said that, Onana has saved a shit ton of shots when you consider how leaky our defense has been, letting everything go through it. He's been there. He's kept clean sheets. He's only behind David Raya in the clean sheets in the Golden Glove in the Premier League. So I think for as many shots as he's taking on, you kind of have to see that argument to say he's after improving massively since November, December.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another big problem that I have from I respect players that have had, like, obviously his Champions League run and everything was horrible, and I respect players that have had that run and they turn it around. Like he's completely. I think he's been very solid since like about November, December, like you said, and your defense, like you haven't had a consistent defense for the majority of the season, and he's still topping these charts and everything. So that's why I would have to go from now. I do really like Petrovic as well, but I go on Anna on that.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't debate that either. So look, the two fullbacks anyway, they're nailed on. Gusto right back, Dallo left back.
I think
Stu, I'll let you pick the United. Stu, I'll let you pick the United centre half here.
Well, I think we should concede Silva then, and
sensible man, Stu, sensible man.
Well, no, I think that's a fair comment. Both of you have gone for Silva, so you were Chelsea through and through, you guys. So I think you've got to. You've got to consider what you're watching. Look, I'm going to go with Varane then to play alongside Silva, because I think from a consistency point of view, although for me, I'm a centre half anyway, and I love the way that Maguire plays, that conducts himself. He's my type of player, but I think Varane has probably been overall better this season.
Yeah.
So
well, I actually didn't know Varane was fit.
Okay.
I didn't. I think I would actually go for Johnny Evans Varane on my side.
I would have gave Maguire over Varane.
If it was 6-7 games ago, I would have went Silva, but he's been phased out and everything now, and I just think, like, obviously we're still not picking up. Like, well, we were unbeaten in, I think, since December.
The last 5 games.
Yeah, like it was like 6 or 7 games when all comps were unbeaten, and in those games was when Silva was dropped and we got to play a higher line. And so I was only picking Silva on the basis that, like, the options I don't think were that good. Now Maguire has had a good season, to be fair to him, and Evans, but I think I'd actually go for Varane and Evans if it was my choice now. I didn't know Varane was fit.
Keane, what do you want to do, pal?
Thing is, I had Johnny Evans, my original team.
You did. You did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in our combined team, we picked Maguire, so I think I'd go for Varane and Maguire. To be honest, I'd stick with them too. I think, look, what edges Maguire's, like Sean said to me a while ago, he'd pick Maguire. Also, we were chatting on WhatsApp earlier. I think for me, just the player of the month, he gets it for that one, like that. Well, he's had been good all season. That month he got player of the month, he was really, really good. So yeah, I'd go for Varane and Maguire in the combined 11.
Up to you, Evan.
I'd gladly give you Maguire if I got Silva, like, which I think out of Evans, Varane, and Maguire, I think Maguire edges it out of the three of them, like. Do you know what I mean? But I just think Silva has to get in there.
Darragh, you're the host.
You're the host. You're going to have to decide here.
I can see where Evan's coming from. We have to be compromising on something.
Yeah, no, he is. In fairness as well, he's played more games than Maguire, has he, Evan?
He has, and he has more clean sheets as well, like,
about 5 or 6
which is what you want for a keeper, like. I can pull up other stats as well, but we'll be here for the night.
Yeah, we will.
Come on,
We give him
guys.
Thiago Silva because I'm waiting. To be fair, I think I'll have a couple of disputes in the midfield. But
Yeah,
we give you Silva because we're good.
I was going to say,
get a bit of leeway in the midfield.
we can
We're
see
going
Silva.
Yeah, I'd be a lot more lenient in the midfield. I'll be a lot more lenient in the midfield.
Okay.
One, so get to it, midfield. Let's go.
I think to get this kind of, I'm going to go off form. Like I know the tactical was their group chat now. We're going to come for me and say, why are you going for certain balance here? And they're going to blow the ball off me. But I'm just going to go on what I'm going with. I think Gallagher and McTominay, for me, are just absolute shoo-ins. They've both played out of their skin this season, probably overachieved. And showing those, I slag off Gallagher a bit. But credit where credit's due. He's actually been decent for Chelsea. And considering when you have like the 200 million worth of midfielders behind him, and he's like standing out, like that speaks volumes, I think, for Conor Gallagher's contribution this year. I think both clubs are talking about pure FFP profit they can make off both of these players in the summer. I do think they should get in because they've delivered in crucial moments for both of the clubs this year. So I think the two I'm nailing in. Actually, what I'm nailing 3. Bruno, you're not getting in. I love you to bits. Bruno, I love you to bits, but you're not getting in. Kobbie Mainoo's getting in with him. And that's my 3. Mainoo, Gallagher, and McTominay.
And even as host, I want that midfield 3. That's personally my 3 there now. And I
Yeah,
love Bruno as well.
Yeah, you're supposed to be neutral in this. What the fuck?
But honestly, though, like when you think of Chelsea's midfield and considering the choices that are there, Gallagher, McTominay, and Mainoo, they kind of write themselves personally, I think. Anyway,
Well, if you're gonna have a defensive midfielder, like that's fair enough. But is that going to be the case?
One of McTominay and Gallagher, maybe McTominay, because I've just been watching Chelsea week in, week out, and I think Gallagher, he's had a good season, but I think there's 3 players we've had that are better than him, and Casido is one of them.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, he's been very now. The first 2 games, Casido had stinkers, but ever since then, he's had 2 or 3 like brilliant games. But apart from that, he's just consistent 7 out of 10 every week.
And it's gone really under the radar. Being honest with you, no one's talking.
It is. It's because of his price. Obviously, there's no player of his profile that's gonna live up to a price like that price. I don't think. I just think that played against him from day one, and obviously, fans. You play on that.
I'd raise you with that. Do you know if you bought N'Golo Kante in this current market right now, he'd be worth it. Prime N'Golo Kante in this market right now, in this inflated market, he'd be worth 100%.
It. Yeah, but I think he's like, if he was in the market, he'd be one of the best in the world. Like,
yeah.
What's Casado's booking total this year? What's his bookings tally?
5 or 6 yellows
in the 30s, I'd say. No, I'll check now because he's had to win me a lot of money this year. He's 8 in the Premier League.
8.
Bruno's 8 bookings as well, actually.
Yeah,
he's
he is. Yeah.
So, are we deciding on that 3, or have we decided?
I'm like, it's mad. Like, they took Gallagher out, and I'm not a Chelsea fan. I think he'd feel unlucky not getting in, but I can understand where the lads are coming from.
No, I'll definitely give him. Like, I obviously don't really rate Gallagher highly, but I'll definitely give him his views. Like, he's played very well this year. He's definitely overachieved. I just, if it was a month or 2 ago, I'd say him, yeah. But I just think the last like month or 2, Casido stayed consistent, and Gallagher has been up and down in games. But I do get where you're coming from. Absolutely, with putting Gallagher and McTominay in, I can't really argue.
I'm looking at Mark's comment here. Why isn't Bruno not starting number 10? This is a combined 11. If this was Man United 11, Bruno Fernandes gets in. Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
And Bruno just hasn't been as good as he has been like in previous seasons. If this was any other season, Bruno was the first name on the team sheet. Like, but he just hasn't been, in my opinion. And I'm probably the biggest Bruno stan you'll probably find in this country.
Yeah.
So who did we go for then? So we've gone with Mino.
I think both teams are leaking goals, right? But both teams' defenses have been great. I'd go Mainoo if we want to go balanced here, right? What about we go Mainoo, Caicedo, and then we go McTominay? He can just be that floater where he can just go up and bag a goal.
Interesting you say that, actually, yeah.
But the thing is, you have to remember, right? If you think about the front 3 with this one, like, right, and the positions that are left wing, right wing, striker. I know full well you're going to all pick Highland to go striker, right?
Yeah.
So that leaves
100%.
that leaves. I think right wing is fairly obvious, but then left wing, you're not going to leave out Cole Palmer.
Oh
You're
no,
definitely not going to put him in. You're definitely not going to put him in left wing.
So I'll
If you
name
do
our
right
front three. I'll name our the front three that I had originally. I had Palmer, Hyland, and Garnacho. That was my original front three before I switched to a diamond.
I'd actually.
The thing is,
if you put Palmer on the right wing, and like fair enough, Garnacho's not been great on the left wing, but if you want to favour it for balance purposes, put Palmer on the right, Garnacho on the left, Hyland up top.
Well, I would have put Palmer back in midfield. I would have put Garnacho on the right. I would have put Rashford on the left, and I would have left had Hyland up front.
Interesting to say that.
706.
So I would have. And the midfield would have been Palmer, Gallagher, and Scott McTominay.
No, see, Kobbie Mainoo's getting into this team.
Yeah, Mainoo has to play.
Mainoo has to be in this team.
If you want a defensive midfield, that's fair enough. But I would go full out blown attack like head for leather. You know.
But we have to go on merit as well. And I do think if you're looking at the midfield three, like to be fair, Caicedo's been solid. So like in that respect, you go Mainoo, Caicedo, and then like you go McTominay over Bruno because effectively he has the most goals out of midfield out of all his team. Like fair enough, Cole Palmer has plenty of goals, but he's done that across the whole front three. That's why I'd be moving Palmer into my front three rather than midfield.
I actually think I agree with the front three Keane said as well. I think I concede Jackson to Garnacho.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I had Garnacho in my original anyway.
I'll throw up the graphic of this team up in the Weekly Armchair Twitter, and our Twitter followers can fucking debate this. I guarantee I'm getting
the debate hits the hilt, no doubt about it.
My Bruno omission is going to get slaughtered, but like, look, I'm happy to take
that's
the
thing. There's so many things you can do with it, like depending on the formation, like, and there's so like Bruno would easily get in if you change the formation of it, but we're going with a 4-3-3,
and we're going with form.
That's my point as well. Yeah.
Like if you're taking out left and right wing and moving to like Keane done a diamond formation, like Bruno gets in, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Honourable mention, gets on the bench, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No,
that's
absolutely.
Off the bench when we need someone to fucking get on the ball and make things happen.
Yeah. That midfield, like I think if he was playing, like I don't think he gets in on merit, but if he wasn't there, it makes it a lot more balanced. I just think Mainoo, Caicedo, McTominay. I know McTominay scored a lot of goals this year, but I just think
there's no balance there.
Really
that's the thing. Like you have to, it's all well and good throwing players in, but you kind of have to think. You have to think balance. Like imagine the team was actually going out onto the football pitch, trying to play a game against someone. Like that's the kind of thing you have to go for. Like
that midfield is bagging so many yellow cards. It's unbelievable. Fucking show me.
Imagine Bruno in with him. Oh, mother of fuck.
Yeah. But on that, we will move on and actually talk about the games for 53 minutes. I knew the combined 11 would take time. But that's why I went with it.
I didn't think it would take this much time, but do we even go to the next topic or do we just go straight to the actual game, really?
We'll go to the next topic, sure. Fuck it, because Sean joined us late, sure.
Yeah, no, it's cool, because at the same time, I think Evan will definitely debate this one as well. Given the form that both teams are in, both managerial positions are going to be talked about. So with that being said, here's the next debate. Which manager is most likely to last longer, Erik ten Hag or Mauricio Pochettino? Now, me personally, I actually put my hand on my heart here, and I will back ten Hag to the hilt, but I feel Poch will last longer. Because
that's exactly we are one, Darragh. We are one. I feel
no, we are not one. But what I'm saying is, like in my view,
Beavis and Butthead.
It's just the fact that with Ineos coming in, they might actually want someone new. They might want to bring someone else in. Like they might respect what Ten Hag has done under previous, only working under the Glazers. But having said that, they might want their own man. So I do feel, by the skin of his teeth, albeit Pochettino might last longer. Anyone want to take up on that?
I'll take this. I think it's financial suicide for both clubs. It's financial suicide for us and financial suicide for Chelsea.
Yeah,
there's no way in a million years any decent coach outside of Poch, just take Poch out of the equation, is going to come in and push that rabble together to play football, because it's a fucking impossible task that Potter had, that Pochettino's had, with the amount of players that were that Bowley bought and tried to shoehorn into your first 11. It is literally fucking impossible. It really is. You also got to bear in mind, fellas, that when you put a 21-year-old Mudryk, is he 21, 22, something like that?
Yeah, around that age, yeah.
Yeah, if you put him on an 8-year contract at 100 grand a week or whatever, that's it. His contract's over. He just sails off into the sunset and he retires. It's bad business. I know what he did. I get it, from a financial fair play point of view, but it's bad business. And unfortunately, I can't sit here and say that we've done anything better, because we haven't. We've just done it in a different way. Now, if we go and we sack, and it's the same with you guys, if we go and we sack Ten Hag, so you've got to pay him off 10 million or whatever. You've got to pay the coaching staff off another 5 million. It's 15 million quid. That eats into your transfer budget or your FFP. You've then got to pay the salary of a new manager. He wants to hire his new coach. We're hiring a multitude of other expensive options in technical director, sporting director, CEO. This is just Manchester United. Then you've got to completely rehash the first team squad. So you're going to have to sell like some Maguire, who probably ends up at West Ham as their next skipper. You're going to have to possibly, and I hate to say it, maybe look to sell McTominay, because you've got to get the best value for the buck that you can. It's the same with you guys.
Balance in the books, Gio. Like, if you look at balance in the books, I think for United, I know we're talking about next manager sack, and I'll give my opinion on that in a minute. But I think if you're looking at balance in the books, United should definitely this summer, if you're looking at pure FFP profit, you're looking at selling Greenwood, you're looking at selling McTominay.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
Maybe a couple of youngsters like Hannibal as well coming back from loan. Alvaro Fernandez, maybe the couple of them will help generate that profit. But no, it's I think for Man United right now, I think Ten Hag will last slightly longer than Pochettino. I think, like, if you look at Chelsea this season, they should be doing a lot better with the squad they have and the players they have. They should have won that cup final. And I do think if they don't win the FA Cup and they don't finish even at least Europa League or Europa Conference League, do you know what I mean? 2 years out or Europe financially, how does that hinder Chelsea? Is there a clause there? Do you know what I mean? If they don't qualify for Europe, we don't hear about these clauses, and all of a sudden they come to light and managers get sacked. Do you know what I mean? If the managers, do you know, when they don't qualify for Europe, and similarly with Ten Hag, I think what Ineos will do is they'll give him a chance. They'll give him a chance in the summer under the new regime, and if he doesn't, like, to be fair, if he gets his own players in, he's allowed to get the deadwood out, and all of a sudden teams are still carving the through. It's like hot knife through butter. He'll go. I guarantee you that he'll go. I think he'll just about last longer than Pochettino, because I do think Todd Bowley will probably look and see there's probably still good options on the market for managers. Do you know? And right now, do you know what I mean? If Chelsea get to 2 cup finals, let's say, or if Chelsea don't get to the final and they don't qualify for Europe and results do dip off, I don't see how Pochettino stays, especially when you look at players like Cole Palmer coming in and Kunku, and they don't even get, like, where are Chelsea in the table now? Are they 10th, 9th, 10th? 11. Let's say if Chelsea don't get at least, let's say, 8, right? Let's say if they don't get 8, which I think is quite fucking possible that they could get.
Should be getting 7, to be honest, from where we are. Like,
yeah, they could be, right? They absolutely could be. And consider, let's say if West Ham do well in the Europa League or Liverpool do well in the Europa League places go down a bit more. So maybe 8's feasible to get at least conference. Do you know what I mean? If depending on how well West Ham and Liverpool do in the Europa League, like that should be feasible. If he doesn't get that, and also not get to the fucking FA Cup final. I know it's against City, but like Chelsea have given it to City twice this season. There's no reason why they can't go to Wembley on a big pitch and hit them on the break.
See, the thing is with Chelsea, you can either go drastically one way or drastically the other way.
The other thing,
that's the problem.
Yeah, the other thing, fellas, about this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only summer where Barcelona are looking for a new gaffer, Liverpool are looking for a new gaffer,
Munich as well.
Munich are looking for a new gaffer. I think Juventus will be looking for somebody.
They're sacking Allegri, aren't they, as well? Yeah.
Yeah, potentially Ancelotti might hang up his boots eventually at Madrid. We can't, if Chelsea release Pochettino, we release Ten Hag, you're not going to get your first choice gaffer. You know, you've got
Stephen
Barcelona.
The
Kenny's
market is too shallow in the first place.
Even Kenny's
Who's
on the market
available?
there. He
Jose?
can win to Man United, sure.
Oh, do not say that, Keane. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Get the track back.
Yeah, I just look. I'm not so sure about Mourinho. I think he's ready to take a international
Mourinho
job.
should be managed in England, full stop.
But that's the thing. I called that actually 2 weeks ago as well in the group chat. I don't know if any of you saw it. But the thing is, all these managers going, right? Say Chelsea get rid of Caramel Frappuccino and you get rid of Erect Den Hard. Who replaces them?
Yeah, this is
What
it.
pool is there? Like,
Yeah, this
like
is
you
it.
say, you're not getting your first choice.
No.
And what managers are out there are going to cost fucking crazy money. Like, it's crazy
I'd
money
rather
that we
have
can't
Ten Hag
afford.
for
Chelsea, well, I don't know about United, but
Well,
Chelsea can't afford to pay. Like,
Alonso's staying, isn't it? Alonso's made the right decision for him.
Mourinho will go to Liverpool.
Yeah, De Zerbi's good. De Zerbi will go.
Derby is who I think they should be targeting, but like in terms of the question, I think Ten Hag's going to outlast them. Chelsea have when they sign Poch, it's like a rolling contract. So in the summer, both sides are going to review, and I'm not sure what way that affects the payoff. It's probably might be a bit less than if he sacked him now. So that's why I think Poch will get until the summer. There's no point in sacking him right now anyway. And for Ten Hag, I think the one thing that might go in his favour is actually the consequences of what Chelsea done. Like, I wonder will Ratcliffe look at what Bowling had done and sacked Tuchel at the time and the way it's gone since. I don't know if that'll play into it because like there's a lot of lessons to be learned from what the Chelsea owners done. And I think Ratcliffe, that's one positive.
Biggest mistake we ever done.
Yeah, and that's a big positive. United been bought after Chelsea. You kind of get to see what they've done in that year, and just if there's anything that you can do better, or if there's something that you were going to do that they did that didn't work out.
But I suppose it just kind of brings on to last topic before we kind of move quickly on to the actual game itself. With the whole talk of who changed the manager, who brings someone else in first, the better question really is which club will actually challenge for the title or at least win it before the other.
I'm just going to say now, I'm going to say straight out, I think Chelsea before us, just simply because I haven't seen what this new structure is yet. Now, this question, like, football is weird. You could ask me this question in 6 months' time after the window, and I could be saying something completely different to see how their recruitment goes and how their structure is. But I do think that if you look logically, both teams are in a rebuild, but you look at some of Chelsea's young players that they have there for the long term. I do think that they probably are better suited right now because I do think United have to do another squad overhaul before we're even in a position to be back to being the top 4 team, never mind title challengers. Whereas if you look at the cycles of these teams, this Liverpool team's coming towards the end of their reign of dominance. Man City's team, there's a few aging players, and then also Pep Guardiola will leave in a couple of years' time. I do think if you look at it, I think Chelsea are probably better positioned right now as we're speaking. I know that's mad to say considering they're 11th in the league, but if you look at their squad, you look at the age profile of the squad and the potential it has, they're probably better suited in the long term. But that's not to say if Ratcliffe comes in, does a mass clear out and gets good players in, gets a good structure, sometimes progress can be sped up. We've seen that with Villa, we've seen it with Newcastle in terms of getting up the table. With the amount of revenue this club generates, if run properly, it could be an absolute juggernaut again. But it's just a case of we need to see it on paper first, and we need to see it in practice as well before we can even say that Man United are in any way, shape, or form going to challenge for a league. I do think Chelsea can do it in a couple of years' time if they get managerial appointments right, and also for fuck's sake, buy a striker.
Yeah, no, I do
to be honest, right? I think United are in a better position because you have that balance of young and experienced players. Yeah. And if you keep that ball rolling and keep that balance throughout the next few seasons, there's no reason why you can't go on and win titles like year after year, like let alone what titles they be. But if you keep that balance of experienced players and young talent, whereas we don't have that balance at the moment. Well, in my opinion, I don't think we have that balance at the moment. It's not a young, egotistical talent like we have, but you have the balance of experienced players on and off the pitch.
Like, I'll say that.
But you keep that rolling season after season, there's no reason why you can't win titles.
But I like the look of Chelsea's team structurally because, like, fair enough, you said both of them, but Ian Maatson decent looking left back. If he can continue the form he's after showing for Dortmund, you've got a good player in your hands. Galamusto, another great player. Cole Palmer, like fucking Mudryk will probably come into his form. Enzo Fernandez, someone who did struggle at the start, but he has kind of shown glimpses of form. If you can,
Levi Colwill at the back as well, sure. He's a monster.
yeah, exactly. Colwill again, like there's players there, like so. Like I would nearly argue Chelsea could win a title before United. I obviously want United to win the title before Chelsea, but at the same time, I wouldn't begrudge it because you have the, I suppose, for all of Todd Bowley's failures already is just going trigger finger on buying players left, right, and centre. He has shown that he wanted to do something right, but like he was buying too many young players. They're not all going to get games. They're all going to want to play, but they're not going to get games. So it was all just buying them all up. He was trying to do a monopoly of it because he was trying to buy all the top young players from, let's say, Brazil, Argentina, wherever he was buying from, and they're all not going to get game time. And he's said, well, I have the money, I can just go and buy them. That's the problem. Whereas
buying without sense, I like to call it.
But
I think the first summer he done that. I think like he gets a lot of the stick in that. Like second summer, I think he got people in place, like obviously Win Stanley and Lars Short and that there.
Yeah.
Like I think like I'm fighting this for ages now. Good everyone. I think the recruitment since the first summer has been okay. Obviously, I think the players have been good, but like you said, it's just a balance of experience and buying too many young. But like one thing I'll always stick up for Bowley for is after that summer, like he stepped back and he. Like I've Alex Goldberg now, he does a lot of not a lot. He releases a bit of information every once in a while, but he was saying that Bowley realised that he wasn't the man to do that. He stepped back and he wanted to leave the football people run the club, but it's actually the other owner, Badek Bali. He's the one that won't step back. Yeah, no, he's the one that won't step back. So kind of the Pochettino appointment, and then Pochettino's still been in a job. Like Bali is like the majority shareholder in the club, so him and his company own 66%. But he's the one that has the big ego, and he's kind of causing a lot of the issues now, I believe.
It's like in fairness, like I seen the thing about Todd Bowley stepping on as chairman. Am I right in saying the other day? And
yeah,
like I think I read a small bit into it where it's that it was always planned, but he's going to come back in as chief executive in a few years' time. Did I read that right?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, that was
2027, I think.
That's
it's a 5-year period. So just the 2027, and then in 2032 again, and then 2037 will be. There's a clause in their contract they can't sell the shares for 10 years in Chelsea, and that's when that ends.
Jeez, this is like the Irish government swapping fucking Taoiseach every couple of years.
In fairness to Bowley, he's been kind of used as the front man, so he's like the first like chairman that his face is out there. He was the one, like obviously he probably wanted all that publicity and that, but it's kind of backfired because things that go wrong, everyone straight away uses his name.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah,
like Bali is kind of like Abramovich, like he's kind of quiet, stays back behind the reserve, but in fact, he's the one that's over all the decisions and signing off.
Don't bring up his name, please. Don't bring up. Please don't bring
anyway,
up
guys,
his name.
For what it's worth,
still raw for Roman.
For what it's worth, I think it'll take 6 years between either of us going anywhere near the Premier League.
And who do you think will get there first, though, Stu?
I don't think it'll take that long. I think it'll take that long.
I think it'll take 6 years. You can either combine it between the two of us, 3 for Chelsea. And
the likelihood of City continuing this reign, as we'd say, for another 6 years is madness.
I'll tell you one thing, boys. If them 115 charges, if they get found guilty of half of them, it blows the league wide open. It blows the league wide open.
Massively.
I think our problem is Arsenal.
Yeah.
But
Arteta flips off to Barcelona. All of a sudden, that blows up as well.
Arsenal drop off, I think.
But you see, like, to take that point there is the fact that you made the point there earlier. Once Pep steps down, it kind of blows everything anyway, because I do feel once Pep leaves, some of those players just play for themselves, because I always thought, like, looking at, like, even Roy Keane was on about, let's say, Erling Haaland's general play, say, he just looks like he's playing an individual player game where some of those, like, you look at Jack Grealish, say, for example. I don't know. I don't like using his name because obviously Irish to English, but anyway, I do feel with Grealish, he was very much an individual player at Villa. He knew he was good. He was able to take the ball on. Pep has turned him into a player who can actually play with the team, pass it around. So it's that kind of mentality. It's like some players are willing to play part of the team. There's players in that team that make it look like they're wanting to play just as 11 individuals. So I feel once Pep goes, makes no difference who comes in.
All of a sudden, I'll be honest with you,
but that's the thing. Who does come in? The manager pool is not massive. Like all these great managers are dying off. Like Klopp is gone. Like you said, Ancelotti has only this season left. I don't think he's going to take another year at Real.
You have to take into consideration as well. If you look at City's best players, they're all kind of hitting 30 now. They're hitting the wrong side of 30. So City do have a rebuild coming in a couple of years, as well as that, Joe. And that might coincide with Pep leaving. Don't be surprised if Pep does a Fergie and sees a mass rebuild on the horizon. Also, 115 charges probably looming. He probably dips, goes on to another sabbatical.
Jump ships, yeah. But Fergie knew what he was at straight away. I'll die on that hill. Fergie knew what was coming.
As I once said, it was like Bertie Ahern leaving. If he didn't fall at the time, he knew what was coming.
Of all fucking people, you compare Bertie Ahern to Alex Ferguson. Let's move on. But
iconic men in their own right.
Oh, just move on from that. Fucking hell.
You're a waffler.
Go on, Bertie.
But anyway, on that note, I think it's time to bring the whole curtain on this show in itself. So, talking about the game itself, we'll make a quick run of it. Score lineup and any mass prediction, or knowing Evan, he's going to come with something out absolutely nowhere. But
I'm actually fairly tame on this one. I'm fairly tame.
Go on, let's hear us out.
If you want me to go first, that's fair enough. Look, coming off the 2-1 defeat earlier in December this season, given that we haven't won against United in the past, I'd say 5 years. I said Hazard was still even fucking playing at the club. Given that we haven't won it at Old Trafford in the past, I'd say nearly 10 years. I can't see this being Chelsea being Chelsea. Like I said, it could go either way. It could be a drastically one way, a drastically the other way. But at very best, I'll be hoping for a 1-1 draw. If not, United winning 2-1 again. Now Chelsea could absolutely surprise me and end up beating United 3-0. It'd be wishful thinking. It could happen.
You have to make about 3 predictions there, Evan.
No, I'm sticking with the 1-1 draw. Like I'm sticking with the 1-1 draw.
That's tame by your standards, anyway.
Exactly. I told you I was going to be tame.
Yeah, I'm just going to go for the 1-1 draw as well. I think the majority of the fixtures between us are drab draws. Obviously, he beat us 4-1 last year when the end of the year we were an absolute disaster, and then this year we just didn't show up as well. But I think I'll go 1-1 Stamford Bridge, like home fixture, and I think it's going to be probably another dull affair.
Well, that's fair enough. Boys, what do you think? Keane, Sue?
Yeah, this is one of those games that
Stu's about to say 2-1. You can see it in his eyes.
I just think it's almost impossible to predict which way it's going to go because we're both as unpredictable and dross as each other on occasions. But there has been occasions this season where we played some kind of scintillating football. Your performances against City, in particular, have been superb this season. Nobody's really done that to City. It's all really taking it to them. So I'm with you guys. Actually, you two. I think it could be fucking anything. I do. So I actually think it'll be 1-1. But it could easily be 3-0 to United, 3-0 to Chelsea. It could be 3-1, 3-2. It's one of those games where you can't really lay your hat on a feasible scoreline. So I'm going to have to be with you guys.
Like I said, it can go far left or far right, but I think
absolutely.
1-1 is bang on. Like
if Garnacho's on fire, for example, and we get a couple of quick fire goals, you could quite easily come back to it with our defending and make it 2-2.
That's very fun.
It's just one of those. So I'm going to join you guys, and I'm going to go 1-1. I never do that.
3-1-alls.
Yeah, but I can't. I couldn't really separate it, if I'm being honest.
I had 1-1 as well, but the fact everyone on the panel has gone for it, I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to stray away from the norm. I'm
Yeah.
going to go a 3-2 thriller at Stamford Bridge. I'm going to go United to win
God.
3-2.
Why not?
Who
and-
gets the penalty? Who gets the penalty?
No one gets a penalty. No one gets a penalty in this game.
Keane,
No
Keane
penalty.
predicted no penalty.
Just because you want Cole Palmer to score.
No penalty. But Mason Mount scores at Stamford Bridge.
Oh,
That's
there
my
we go.
hot take.
No, like this is the thing.
That's wishful thinking. That's not hot take. That's wishful thinking.
Hey,
Well-
get off the mark on Saturday.
Exactly.
It's a start now, Evan boy.
But like this,
Johnny
and
Kane's
this
been good too.
is the thing. It's the fact that if we were playing at Old Trafford, knowing our record against Chelsea at Old Trafford, I know most games have been kind of 1-1, 1-0 kind of affairs recently. But I just felt like the fact we went away and we finished off 4-1 at the end of last season against the at Old Trafford, I would be saying if this was a game at Old Trafford, I'd be saying 2-0, maybe 3-0. But we're at Stamford Bridge. Not the nicest place to go to at the best of times. I won't say 1-1 because, like Keane said, I was thinking 1-1. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to be saying a cagey 1-0 affair to Man United. I want to be.
When's the last time we lost to Stamford Bridge? Was that under Conte, was it? When Chelsea had Conte? Or
It
something?
might have been, yeah.
Oh, like,
Yeah, like five, like
we've had the better
Yeah.
That
years.
they beat us 4-0. Was that the 4-0 game when they beat us 4-0 and Conte and Mourinho and they had a scrap on the sideline?
I think that might have been the same, yeah.
No.
I know we lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup final. That's the last time I properly remember us losing.
Yeah.
I was absolutely twisted in Wembley that day, and it was the worst game of football I ever watched.
We beat you 1-0 after that 4-0. Morata scored the header, remember? That's
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the
I
last
forgot
one.
about
That's
that
6
game,
years ago, 5.5 years ago.
jeez, I actually forgot that game. But yeah, no, look, I'll be the one to say the cagey 1-0 affair. Garnacho to score. If it's not Garnacho, again, wishful thinking, Mason Mount. But come on, let's be honest. It would be nice to see it and just to watch Evan crash and burn.
I'd be like, I'd be actually raging. Excuse my language, but I would be raging.
This is what you fucking get for calling me Jonathan Morley.
You're the head off him, kid. You're the head off him.
I'm not
Like,
ginger.
The 2-year twins. Get Morley to slick his hair back in, and I couldn't tell you apart.
Yeah, that's like saying himself and Paddy Murphy are twins. But anyway, on that note, it's time to end the show, guys. Sean, Evan, Keane, and Stu, fucking fantastic to have you on again, lads.
Pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
No doubt I'll be getting the stick from Evan in the group chat. But anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Oh, I'm gonna hop off you in the group chat.
Go on, lads. Thanks a million.
Bye.
Have a good one.